Short clip line, please change trains at Northgate.
I have no idea where I'm going. There's a bus! Get a bus! I think it's the right one. Bus station. But it's in the middle of nowhere. I kind of expected a cafe or something, so I haven't had any breakfast. Oh well. And I have about half an hour to wait for a bus. And so I entertained myself for half an hour by exploring local wildlife. Well, small one. Oh wow, we have this bug in Russia. I used to love them as a kid because they can do this. And the bus came just as I found some geckos in a bush. Only snapped one photo. Australia Zoo, here it is. This is so cool. The zoo was created in 1930 by Bob and Lynn Irwin as a small reptile park. However, over time it grew to current size and gained its fame thanks to their son Steve Irwin, the Crocodile Hunter. Everyone who has seen his documentaries would notice his passion and almost surreal skills in handling all kinds of animals, from orangutans to snakes to, of course, crocodiles.
It is very reassuring to see that in spite of his tragic death in 2006, his legacy lives on.
It is not just the zoo, the Irwin family does a lot of conservation work as well. The zoo runs shows educating people about wildlife. The highlight is, quite predictably, crocodiles. It's amazing to see this fearsome predator in action and learn how to avoid conflict. After all, 90% of animal-human conflicts happen because we lost touch with the world around us and have no idea what we're doing once we're outside the city. Another interesting activity the zoo offers is animal encounters. I decided to make friends with some Galapagos tortoises. Aww. Australia is amazing in terms of animals. It was so isolated from the rest of the world quite early. The animals just developed absolutely differently. Roos and koalas and, all the animals that have absolutely no relatives anywhere else in the world. They're unique. They're only here. Crocodiles are amazing. They're pretty much living fossils. They haven't changed much since dinosaurs, just became a bit smaller. Which means they have reached perfection in a way. They're so much older than us, if you think of it. Oh look, a wombat wagon. This is how they moved around the zoo. And this is another animal I decided to meet. No, it's not a hamster, it's a marsupial with a pouch and all. One of the most fun facts about a wombat is that he has a fortified bum that he can use as a door when hiding in his burrow from a predator. So when I was little, I was always that kid who could tell you everything. He knew more about animals than the grown-ups. And the grown-ups were like, oh look, this is a cute little bear. And be like, no, this is not a bear, this is a koala. And they're marsupials and they're not bears and stuff like that. So I was a nerdy kid. And now I'm in Australia Zoo. I did watch Steve Irwin a lot. I probably watched most of wildlife documentaries that I could find. And obviously I watched Steve Irwin. I have big appreciation for his passion for wildlife. So this is quite a special place. I grew up watching National Geographic, Discovery and some Russian programs called In the World of Animals. And when I was a kid, I thought I'd grow up to be a zoologist. I thought I'd live in the middle of nowhere in a little shack with someone just as crazy about animals and we'll live happily ever after. I used to read Charles Darrow a lot and he got my passion even grow even bigger. I never became a zoologist, but now having learned camera, I could become a camera operator, I could make documentaries about wildlife. Right?
A baby cheetah workout. it was time to leave the zoo, a shuttle picked all the remaining visitors to bring us to the exit.
So the zoo's already closed. It's 5. But the wildlife hospital is still open. And I'm gonna check it out now.
In 2004, the wildlife hospital was opened near the zoo and has been very busy since then. It is dedicated to rescue and rehabilitation of the local wildlife. In the foyer, there are a lot of educational materials for visitors about some specific threats to certain species. The hospital is open 24/7 and has a hotline. I'm amazed by the world, by the diversity of the world, and by the possibilities. And I'm fascinated by people who are not contained by perceived boundaries. I don't know if I am one of those people. I never thought I thought I was as a kid. But I was a book kid. I was reading all the time and stuff like that. And then I grew up, and I was told that it's all impossible, blah blah blah. You're a woman, you can't be an explorer, you're this, you're that, you must be careful. I think I can be so much more than I am, and I'm very bothered by the fact that I'm not. But maybe it's about the journey. What's that? Oh, some noisy birds. Can't see them. It's always very hard to figure out who you are, because I don't really have specific points of reference. And all my role models have always been fiction characters. I never had a real person to give me adequate feedback on things I always thought were important. Like, who am I? How do I become the person I feel like I should be? I always wanted like teacher, like sensei kind of character figure in my life. Always lacked it, and I was so desperately looking for him. Someone whose opinion I could trust. It's so easy when you travel to realize these things, but it's so hard at home. You just kind of get trapped in the four walls. Traveling is so empowering, but I do remember last year was the same. Then I came back and it kind of wore off, and it's a constant attempt to keep that feeling, to keep being empowered. Maybe I should just travel more.